Nightcast. Stephen Lloyd Gilbreth brings you the current news from the world today and how it relates to Bible prophecy. Understanding the end-time events leading to the peaceful world tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Lloyd Gilbreth.
Good evening, friends, and welcome to this Monday night, August 10, 2015 edition of Nightcast. We're looking at a weather index of 110 degrees here in Alabama and elsewhere. Firefighters are battling raging forest fires engulfing Vila Nova de Cerveira in North Portugal. The area is one of the hardest hit by a series of forest fires that started on Saturday. The exceptionally dry winter and spring have increased the risk of forest fires, as you see them burning in this video footage from the BBC. And they're making an effort to put out the wildfires there. All right, that's all we have on it for now, friends. We'll keep an eye on that. In other news, 6 members of the security forces have been killed in a series of attacks in Turkey amid rising tension between the government and Kurdish militants. In southeastern Sirnak province, 4 police officers were killed, as you'll see in this video, by a roadside bomb, and a soldier died when gunmen fired on a military helicopter. In Istanbul, a police officer was killed in clashes after a car bombing. Meanwhile, the city's U.S. consulate was attacked by 2 assailants. A leftist group said it carried out that attack. Salen Jurit reports.
This has become an almost daily event in Turkey. Security personnel coming under increasing threat from various fronts. This shootout followed an earlier car bomb attack in Istanbul, which injured 10 people. 2 attackers were killed here. 1 policeman later died of his injuries. In another part of town, similar scenes near the U.S. consulate in Istanbul. 2 female suspects were behind it.
2 women were carrying shopping bags and walking in the neighborhood. We heard gunfire and went to the window. We saw a woman taking cover with a gun, but she wasn't shooting. The other one fired 4 or 5 rounds aiming at the security officials.
One of the attackers escaped. The other one got wounded and detained. There were no casualties. A radical leftist group claimed responsibility. The Revolutionary People's Liberation Front said on its website, "Our struggle will continue until every parcel of our homeland is cleared of U.S. bases," labeling the U.S. as chief enemy of people in the Middle East and in the world. Within hours, 2 further attacks took place, this time in Şırnak, a town on the southeast of Turkey, bordering Iraq and Syria. 5 security officers were killed. The officials suspect the Kurdish militant group PKK is behind these attacks, though no group has yet claimed responsibility. There have been widespread fears of reprisal attacks since Turkey began what it called a synchronized war on terror last month, which included airstrikes against Islamic State fighters in Syria, Kurdish PKK militants in northern Iraq, and radical leftist groups. Today has been the bloodiest day of reprisals so far. Selin Girit, BBC News, Istanbul.
And friends, we have an on-scene report from Kabul, where a car bomb has exploded in Afghanistan at a checkpoint near Kabul's international airport. Police say 5 people were killed. They say the attack seemed to have been aimed at a convoy of armored cars. Harun Najafzada reports from the scene.
This is the remnant of a vehicle severely damaged by the suicide bomber. The car the bomber was driving in is torn apart in a way that parts of it could rarely be found. The attack happened some 50 minutes away from here, right over there, behind the red and white tape that police has just put up. It is in front of Kabul main international airport. That's actually the main gate of entrance for Kabul International Airport, where tens of civilians are traveling to and from Afghanistan on daily basis. The initial reports in the scene suggest that at least 5 people have been killed and 11 others are wounded. The police chief of Kabul just told us that the majority of casualties are civilians who've been taken to the hospital from the scene. Some desperate Kabuli citizens have rushed to the scene looking for their relatives and families. As you can see, the police has closed down Kabul airport. They're trying to clean the mess again. Some flights have been canceled, but they hope to reopen Kabul International Airport in hours.
And friends, a lot of the video in this next report is very similar, much the same as the report we gave last night, but it's been updated to reveal that at least 170 people have been killed in Pakistan in this year's monsoon rains. Almost 1 million people have been affected by the floods, and thousands of acres of agricultural land has been destroyed. Shamia Khalil reports again tonight from South Punjab, one of the worst affected areas.
Another year, another flood. Thousands of acres of land submerged, homes and livelihoods destroyed. Nearly 1 million people in Pakistan have been affected by the monsoon season this year. For more than a month now, aid workers on rescue boats like this one have been shifting stranded people to safety. This family, however, refused to leave their home and livestock behind, especially after their sugarcane crop has been ruined this season.
Assalamualaikum. I'm Shaima. Aapka naam? Samina. Samina. Assalamualaikum.
25-year-old Samina says her extended family has lived on this land for generations.
We've been trying to recover from last year's losses, and now this flood has come and destroyed our crops again.
Of damage the floodwaters have caused this season alone. The tragic part is this has been happening every year for the past 5 years, and experts say it will continue to happen if nothing is done to control the waters. Without the proper infrastructure, the dams, the reservoirs, these lands will regularly be submerged and the water will eventually just go to waste.
For the 5th year running, torrential rains and glacial meltdowns have devastated large swathes of agricultural land here. The Indus River starts in western Tibet and flows the entire length of Pakistan. The 2 Pakistani provinces of Punjab and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa are among the worst hit. This is what they looked like before the floods.
Now, friends, we're going to come on out of there because that's repeating a lot of material that was in the video report from last night. Even some of the earlier part was a little bit of a repeat, but it was an update with the number of people who have been killed. And we are, at the moment, operating on emergency power. We had a storm hit in the middle of this live stream, and our emergency power backup, uninterrupted power has backed up. We only have a few minutes that we can operate on that. So let's go to our next story, and it relates in this way. Now, that storm, I can hear it outside, but we're safe in here, and we've got power, at least for now. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, says it now estimates that a leak that turned a Colorado River yellow, has caused 3 times as much pollution as initially thought. The Animas River has been closed since 5 EPA workers accidentally sent contaminated water pouring downstream. The pollution includes lead, cadmium, and arsenic. Do we have You see, there's some reason we're unable to play this audio. More than 1,000 wells may have been affected by yellow water stretching over 100 miles, 160 kilometers, into neighboring New Mexico. Yeah, I know why it is. There's music in this that we don't have a license for on our archive channels. So we're going to cut the audio, and for those of you who are listening by podcast, I will try my best to read the subtitles as this video produced by Andrew Webb rolls. The Animas River, Colorado. U.S. officials say a leak that turns water yellow is 3 times larger than originally estimated. Environmental Protection Agency says 3 million gallons of wastewater spilled from an abandoned mine. Lead and arsenic are among heavy metals in sludge contaminating the Animas. Spill began when EPA workers accidentally sent toxic water flowing into a tributary. The EPA says wildlife is not in significant danger, so they say. Authorities have taken steps to protect drinking water supplies. And that's the video there, friends, produced again by Andrew Webb. And friends, that's it for this Monday night. We'll sign off while we still got some power with this storm that's knocked out our regular power. And God willing, and the creek don't rise, we'll be back again not as hot a day tomorrow. It's supposed to be 10 degrees lower than it was today here in this part of Alabama. Hope it's bearable where you are. Thanks for joining us tonight. Until next time, friends, this is your host, Stephen Lloyd Gilbreth, saying so long and good night.
You have been watching Nightcast with Stephen Lloyd Gilbreth. Nightcast can be seen Sunday through Thursday nights here on cogtv.org. Tonight's program is also available anytime on demand in the cogtv.org video archive.